Okay. 7 days, 21 hours, and 4 minutes. I'm stopping short of that 8-day mark because I just woke up and my goal is to break fast for breakfast, and I don't feel like waiting another 3 hours while my body and mind are fresh for the day. So allow me hold on. Oh no, might have to get a new bottle. Wow. Here we go. Oh. This time around was easier than last time. 8 days. So now I move on to the sodium bicarbonate. Give me a second to collect my thoughts. So this time around was easier. Just sitting outside, enjoying the fresh air. I could have done 9 days for sure, but society is calling my name. I have some things I need to get done. So that being said, I've got some work to do before my next fast, and I think it's going to become more than just a once a year thing. But yeah, some books, right? The Dry Fasting Miracle. This is Dr. Filanov, the guy who really made this popular. Dry Fasting Q&A 20-0. There's a refeeding protocol that I'm following a little more closely, doing a little bit of what I did last time because I know it works. I'm taking advice from this guy. Oh, this book just found its way into this list. I think this is similar to the Plant Paradox book. This is about oxalates and how oxalates are bad, but I think it's just another boogeyman book. Starving to Heal in Siberia. This with a foreword by Filanov. Starving to Heal. How a PhD used dry fasting under the supervision of Filanov to heal Lyme disease. And then one of the books that I'm reading, The Oldest Cure in the World. It's all about fasting. So, what made this one easy? I think the three biggest contributing factors this year was going to the gym. I think I went to the gym twice a day, and I did backwards walking, careful of my heart rate, and I don't think I broke a sweat once, but I went to the gym twice a day. There's something different about backwards walking. Like when people walk forwards, it puts stress on their back. Every impact, boom. Every time their foot hits the ground, it's an impact and it wears on the skeleton. But backwards walking, it's like a reverse. It's like unloading a spring, and my back problems would get relieved by walking backwards. And what else did I do? I did rotator cuff. I did rotator cuff exercise every single time I went to the gym. Well, not every time, but say 85% of the time. And it's interesting that over an 8-day period, my rotator cuff on my, my right shoulder is my worst one. There's still dysfunction. There's still a little bit of pain, but I quadrupled the number that I was doing in the gym because dry fasting, inflammation is dealt with at unbelievable rates, and the stem cells that are everywhere. Last but not least, was this best idea ever that I said I was going to do last year, and I'm more than happy that I did. After the gym, I would jump in the ocean. These are little boots, little wetsuit boots, and I'd go jump in the ocean and do a cold submerge. But I couldn't get any water in my mouth, which I almost did because I didn't get this little submarine mask to work properly. But yeah, I'm trying to make this one short. It's only gonna be two videos this time. Me breaking fast 3 hours early on an 8-day fast. That was my goal. But like I said, I got my 1 hour of sleep. I was expecting more, but I have so much anxiousness to get going. And I'm doing this more so by feel than time. But yeah, after going to the gym, walking backwards, then jumping in the ocean, and then doing magnesium sulfate, that's Epsom salt, baths before going to bed, it led to getting rid of the low back pain and the neck pain, which was probably the most limiting factor of my dry fasts. And then it helped me sleep better. It just, I forgot to weigh myself. I was something like, oh well, it is what it is. But yes, I'm gonna sip this water slowly. This is the one I have to be the most careful about, the most disciplined, is sipping this water over about a half an hour. 16 ounces, so that's like, I take about an ounce, minute or two. I'll take a breather if I drink too fast, which I probably will, but this bad boy right here. So as I was saying, cold submersion is definitely going to stay with me for life. Definitely a habit that I'm never going to let go of. As well as dry fasting, I'm definitely addicted to it. I'm already thinking about when my next dry fast is going to be. I'm going to go for 9 days. I'm just going to build day upon day and see how far I can go. It's just one of those things. I'm already planning my next one. Can I rent a house for 14 days that's on the ocean just to make things easy for me? But so one of the things I did to pass the time is drive around to all the grocery stores, see who had what for what price, the quality of what they had, plan out my shopping routines for the next year, figure out what I was going to eat. Because I did all this work of dry fasting, I'm not going to throw it away by eating cheeseburgers and buffalo chicken every day. I'm gonna stick to a good diet, because it's also gonna make my next dry fast even easier. The feeling and the rewards are not attainable through any other method in the known universe. It's crazy. So I basically did an audit of all of the grocery stores, and I could not find an organic watermelon anywhere except for one place. I went to maybe 50 places, or 30 places to be more realistic. All within 25, 30 miles of me. And that was the only organic watermelon in this half of the state. Just one of them. And I noticed that all of the produce, no matter who it was, whether it was Stop and Shop, ShopRite, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, the IGAs, or the small mom and pops, I have to say the small mom and pops did a better job of sourcing their food. All of the food comes from like one or two, like bananas. There's only 2 distributors of bananas that three. There's 3 banana distributors, Chiquita, Dole, and then there's another one, Eco something. I think that's just Whole Foods putting their sticker on either Dole or Chiquita. You go around and you look at the oranges. It's the same. Every place has the same oranges. Every place has the same apples. There are a few places here and there that have local apples. So while I was going around from store to store, I was also looking to see who carried raw milk. And of all the stores that I went to, there's only one supplier in this 2/3 of the state. Nope. Come on, get off the road. Hey. There's only one supplier in this 2/3 of the state that bottles their milk in glass. Everybody else is plastic. And the problem with that is the plastic leaks things like BPA and just whatever else is in the bottle. Endocrine disruptors, cancer causers, and it's devastating. Everything's plastic. There's a farm by me that sells raw milk, and I asked, I said, it's not the best quality milk, but it's local, so I can, and they milk the cows every morning and they put out the milk at like 6 a.m. every morning, so I can get day-old milk or that day milk every day, and that's more important. That's its vitality is greater when it's fresh as possible, as opposed to drinking 4-day-old glass bottled milk. So I asked the guy, I spoke to the farmer, I said, hey, if I bring you my glass bottles, will you be able to fill them up for me? He said no, they cannot do that. They cannot do even just handshake in cash over the counter, just bottle it right there in front of me. I clean the bottles myself. They bring it, I cap it myself. They cannot do that. If they do that, the state will shut down their whole operation for one over-the-counter sale. The reason is that in order to sell glass bottles, the farm itself either needs to, I don't even know if they can outsource it to a bottling company, but they have to wash the bottles themselves, which means they may need a whole nother set of machinery in order to serve glass milk. And it's just not viable in the way that it works. People just selling raw milk in certain states have gotten the SWAT team called on them. They've been swatted for selling raw milk in this country. And I say, it's easier. I can find cocaine easier than I can find raw milk. And that is the fault and the cause of the government and police in this country. So if something happens, remember I worked in the grocery, I worked in the restaurant business. If something happens to this, it's called a just-in-time delivery system. If something happens, America is done for. The easiest victory in the history of warfare, just done overnight. Maybe that's what America needs, a good old Good old Stalinist Russian famine. To get everybody to realize that they've been running around wasting their time, wasting their money on shit that doesn't matter. Maybe that's what we need, a good old one of those. Cause any guess where that watermelon came from? Damn, I don't even hear crickets. Yeah, it came from Mexico. America grows watermelons. I looked at the sticker, but none of them are organic, and it does matter. Yeah, and there's a certain group of people that want to close the border. Good idea, good idea. So one of the things is, just to close everything out, one of the things I noticed, because when I was dry fasting, I just had elevated dry fasting and cold submersion. I had elevated levels of like dopamine and epinephrine and all that good stuff. And I noticed people everybody's addicted to consumption of some sort or another. If it's not alcohol, it's caffeine. If it's not that, it's food. If it's not that, it's sports. If it's not that, it's news. And one of the things that dry fasting does is it kind of forces you out of your addictions. It forces you to forces you to abstain from everything, because wasted energy is just, it's like being in quicksand. And yeah, I'm a little bit behind on my scheduling, but I think I'm drinking a little too much. I got a little bit of a stomach ache right now. Anyways, that's my my dry fasting, closing out my dry fasting, the little ceremony. The second video is going to be me documenting my full 5 or 6 days refeeding, so that the next time I dry fast I can go back and watch. And if you decide to dry fast, you can just follow this protocol. You can follow Filanoff's protocol. You can follow August Dunning's protocol, and then there's something called dryfastingclub.com, and you can follow that protocol.